Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It is, of course, Friday, Black Friday, November 26, 2021. Hopefully everybody had an amazing American Thanksgiving. And the holidays begin now, and in, well, appropriate fashion, here comes a nice Black Friday discount on Bitcoin. I think this kind of
Sale on Bitcoin.
Yep, it's a nice sale on Bitcoin, but you may not be faulted for buying right here. This is looking mighty ugly. Is this the dip to buy, or is this a sign of protracted correction this holiday season? What a way to open up the holiday season. We're going to, of course, get into this. And of course, what's fueling the FUD? What's fueling the sell-off today? You might have heard already, but we will touch on it and hopefully not get banned from YouTube.
Upsetting, Jack. Greatly.
Yes, it certainly is. But we will get into all that and more. You just heard the voice, of course, of one of our senior analysts here at Cracking Cryptocurrency, Jason. Jason Bauman's here, everybody. How's it going, big guy? No webcam today. He is in Chicago. He is doing family things on the road. But he's tuning in. He's got his laptop with him. How's it going, my man? How's life? How's everything treating you? How's Thanksgiving?
I mean, life in general, just beautiful, man. We had a great Thanksgiving. Hope everyone else did too. Got to spend time with family, which I love. Watch some football, and like I said yesterday, watch the Lions lose in classic fashion. They always figure out a way, baby.
Yeah. I don't follow it super closely, but I did hear they lost. I think this is the 7th or 8th Thanksgiving game.
They're good at it, boy.
Yeah, but they've lost in a row.
Figure out a way.
So.
But I mean, as for the trading, though, of course, we did see some volatility to the downside. Me, myself, personally, a little upset with 3 commas. For some reason, in the middle of the night, it just decided to cancel all of my smart trades, which was in control of my stop losses and stuff like that. So, I mean, I didn't get stopped out on anything. I used way too low of leverage for that, but it still pisses me off that I pay for 3 commas and they did me dirty like this. But
yeah, in the midst of a major market move, 3 commas somehow,
How I sleep at night, man. I count on them to take care of it if things do go haywire. That way you can sleep at night.
Yeah, and it's very disconcerting when yes, you get somehow they have a little glitch in the midst of a pretty serious market move.
It seems odd that I have all these failed smart trades that were working perfectly right up until we started dumping. So I'm like, come on.
Maybe it failed because maybe it's exchange side, right? Maybe the system worked as intended and it tried to push the orders through or whatever the action was through the API. I'm guessing it was connected to Bybit or something.
Yep.
Right. So maybe
failed and it doesn't give me any other detail like I showed you.
Maybe he was on Bybit's side.
I'm talking with them.
Yep.
It is concerning to me. Pissing me off. A lot of work we put in this month, but I mean, can't really argue with. Did hit TP2 on the Bitcoin short that we've been in down there, sitting at around I believe it was 54.1, I believe, something like that. And then also with comp, and then we should have gotten stopped out of break even on a few of them, but like I said, kind of got worked on that. So we'll see. Maybe we can get an exit pump out of here, but getting a little bit of a premium. But to be honest with you, things look super weak right now.
54,208 on Bitcoin right now amidst the Black Friday sell-off, guys. We're going to get into all this and more today. We got 90 minutes in store for you today, so you know how this show is going to unfold. Could you share your screen again?
Okay, did it go away?
Yeah, deactivate it. And now our icons are flipped on screen. But yeah, you know how this next 90 minutes is set to unfold, guys. We are gonna get into the news. We're gonna talk about some of the responsibility. Where does the responsibility for today's sell-off? Who hit the sell button? What is spooking the markets today? We have all that for you. Some quality FUD coming your way this Friday. It's about what one would expect. Let's go ahead and get, yes, and of course, we got some news for you. We're going to get into the main analysis as well today before, of course, we get into the requests. Oh, and let's not forget, we'll check in on bubbles and shout out the audience. We'll open up a D-Live chest today as well. Let's go ahead and just get right into it, guys. We got a few news pieces I want to get into. We're going to open up with this one from Trust Nodes. Bitcoin 20% off this Black Friday. Bitcoin is on sale this Black Friday when billions are expected to be spent on all sorts of goods and luxuries as wage slaves across the world receive their last paycheck before Christmas. Businesses are doing their best to lure them in with all sorts of offers, and this season Bitcoin's flashing offers of its own too. Bitcoin is now 20% off this Friday, with its price reduced from a high of 69K down to just 53.6 and even lower today. That was very briefly, however, as customers rushed in to buy the new gold. Man, this article really laying it on thick today, huh? And this Bitcoin, let's see here. It's what Bitcoin did last time too. Back in 2016 and 17, Black Fridays, it went on a major discount, but just briefly. While businesses have some CEOs that give this discount order, how is Bitcoin doing this on Black Friday? Yeah, okay, so yes, that's a good question, right? It's understandable when Walmart puts on a Black Friday sale. How does exactly do we get Bitcoin sell off? Let's have a look. It's simple. This article says people take some Bitcoin to buy all the discounted goods on offer ahead of Black Friday. Then people see Bitcoin's on discount, and so they buy it back up on Black Friday. All right, that's an interesting idea. Anybody here liquidating their Bitcoin positions to ape into cheap appliances at Walmart? I don't know. I'm not sure if I buy that. And then what? You come home.
Cheap appliances.
Yeah, and then what? You come home and then you buy.
He's an art, goddammit.
You buy you buy back in by the end of Friday. I'm not sure if I buy this, but let's have a look. So all of this is unlikely to be related to any news, especially as it's happened during previous bull market rallies or Black Fridays, bull market Black Fridays. Right. So previous bull market Black Fridays have happened similarly, where Bitcoin sees a drastic pullback. But I'm not sure if I agree with this whole. There's no real news. Doesn't seem to be related to any news. Well, maybe I have some news, in fact. So let's go hop into another piece. We're going to get into this. Let's go into this one. News BTC talks about how a new variant is now driving Bitcoin down to 54K. Let's see if this topic gets into this. Let's see here. Financial markets are moving into the red on Friday as news of a new you-know-what variant makes investors around the world quite worried. According to a BBC report, this new variant was discovered in South Africa, and scientists have found it to be the most heavily mutated version so far. Ooh, spooky! It's mutated. They found. That's it, guys. They found mutated version. And before we even have any idea as to whether or not this thing is more viral, what's that?
So before you even look at it under a microscope, they're announcing variants.
Well, I mean, they've isolated. I'm going to take them at their word here and say they've isolated. I'm assuming they've done some, analysis under a microscope or whatever they do to kind of take these things apart. But I'm still kind of fascinated because generally my understanding in the world of science and virology is that you don't really declare variants until much, much later, right? Like when you have 12 months of data to look back on as a virus scientist, you can be like, you know what, that thing that we thought was a variant back here, well, 12 months later, seeing what came of it, yeah, it's pretty safe to say we had a variant there. My understanding is it's quite... I don't know. It's unusual, unorthodox to be saying, "Oh, look at this, guys!" Before we have anything conclusive, we're already declaring variants and sounding the alarm about scary new variant, guys. This seems like FUD.
Borderline fear mongering. I mean, as you have a duty as a scientist to get enough data to make a right call, and without enough data, you're just shooting in the dark at that point. So. If anything, you could see that would just be used to cause fear and FUD. I mean, why would you announce that? Because the consequences for it are going to be negative, and you don't have enough data to really announce that. I do feel like it's odd.
Yeah, it's this entire thing kind of has been, this whole debacle has been one big fear campaign, at least to me, guys. I know other people have different opinions. We may differ on this one, but I feel like this whole thing is a fear campaign, and this is just another entry in that. And of course, well, here's the markets reacting as such. In fact, let me just very briefly show you guys what other places look like. My charts on the daily, of course, you can see Bitcoin is putting in a very nice negative, almost 9% day today. But let's just very quickly check in on the Dow Jones, gapping seriously down 3% now. QQQ also having a bit of a down day, down a bit of 1.5 here. And the DEXE, ooh, big nasty candle on DEXE. SPX, same thing. So this FUD, guys, this variant FUD, whether or not the amounts to anything, seems to be suddenly you know, here, and well, taking up a lot of space in the room as markets. Let's see, not much is clear about this variant's properties. That's my exact point yet. But what looks to be most worrying is this version may be resistant. Oh, due to those mutations. There you go. Guys, I can't talk anymore because we'll probably get banned on this topic. But Jason, I already told you before we started the stream what I think about this, and go figure. This is exactly where the narrative is going. It's like, oh, it doesn't work because, you know,
you gotta get a new vaccine every week so we can keep these things coming.
Exactly. Listen, and follow all your local authorities, regulations and rules when it comes to these matters. With that said, guys, let's get off of this before we cause any more heat on the YouTube algo front. Let's go ahead and get into another news piece. Let's hear. Billionaire tells investors buy Bitcoin right now. Okay, let's guys, this is not investment advice. Let's see what Mexican billionaire Ricardo Salinas Pliego has advised investors to put their money into Bitcoin. Salinas, who is the third richest man in Mexico, advised this due to the rate of which the Fed is printing dollars. Inflation rates have soared in the past year are expected to continue doing so. This billionaire advises putting money into Bitcoin to combat the rate at which fiat money is being issued. Let's have a look here. Pliego has been increasingly critical at the rate at which the Fed has been printing money. Billionaire posted a picture that showed the Fed's total weekly value of Federal Reserve assets. This chart was uploaded on the 18th, and it showed that the Fed held more than $8.6 trillion. And this did not sit right with this man. He criticized the U.S. for being an irresponsible third world. Well, guys, I really don't want to entertain this narrative a lot because I honestly think there's not. I'm kind of unconventional in my thinking with this whole idea that, you know, this Fed, the money printers just go brr at the Fed, and indeed we are seeing like inflation right now, but it might not be as like a direct result, I think, of like all the Fed's monetary policy. I think what we're seeing right now, this inflation in particular, it just might be the economic conditions on the ground. Like, we got to be honest here, we ruined the economy, supply chains have been kind of, you know, bent over, and what do you expect? Prices are rising as a result. I don't think everything that we're seeing right now is to blame entirely for Fed central banking policy. It might, don't get me wrong. I just want to lay all the blame there. But nonetheless, I mean, this is something I always talk about. This is the narrative in which Bitcoin shines the strongest in a day like this, where indeed it's a down day. This particular Mexican billionaire says, please buy my bags. We gotta stem the bleed here. Because today's Bitcoin, let me go back to Bitcoin. I mean, this looks like such a mighty, ugly candle. Even this billionaire might be shaking in his boots. Or maybe he's giving you sound advice. Buying Bitcoin right now is maybe a good idea. It is a 20% discount, guys. Are we still in the bull market? If we are, if the inflation and all this is going to continue, which it kind of seems like it will, yeah, I don't know. Maybe Bitcoin is a good buy. Not investment advice. On the flip side, with this whole variant talk, are we going to end up at a March meltdown again like we had back in early 2020? Remember that? Is this what this is lining up with? Another market calamity? We'll have to wait and see. All right, enough speculation for now. Let's go ahead and get into another news story. Physical Bitcoin fund approved in Singapore. Interesting. Singaporean Fintonia Group has launched 2 Bitcoin funds for professional investors. The Fintonia Bitcoin Physical Fund purchases actual Bitcoin to provide investors with direct price exposure. Fintonia's Secured Yield Fund allows Bitcoin holders to obtain cash by putting up their Bitcoin as collateral. Very cool. Singapore-based fund manager Fintonia Group, regulated by the Monetary Authority of Singapore, has launched a physical Bitcoin fund and a yield fund. These offerings are geared toward professional and institutional investors seeking direct passive, yes, and much of what I just summarized in these 3 bullet points here. You guys get the point. Nice, a physical Bitcoin fund finally getting in at least to one major indice here, or market, I should say. Singaporean market getting a physical backed Bitcoin fund. All right, very cool. When will we get one on our shores? That is the question. Let's go ahead and get into another piece here. What do we have left in the news today? Cointelegraph reporting also on the Black Friday deal on Bitcoin, sub 55K Bitcoin price. Just like 2020, it says. A strange sense of deja vu pervades crypto markets as Black Friday delivers a rare buying opportunity right on cue. Bitcoin may be down 20% from all-time highs, but it's a golden opportunity to buy the dip. At least one analyst argue. Black Friday is living up to its name, and indeed, as we know, we're having a serious pullback today. Overnight sell-off sparked by you-know-what. All right, very curious. I think we know what's going on in the price markets. Let me just kind of zoom back. 2020 November. Here we go. All right, let's zoom in on November. Here's Bitcoin. Oh, I think I see it already. How about that? Oof. Yeah, it was right here, November 26th, right on cue. How much did we pull back? In the course of, we wicked down nearly 20%. In the course of 2-3 days. And then we bounced 20% off the bottom, a little over 20% off the bottom, of course, and we continued on up. So, take that for what it's worth, guys. Here's a look back. So, if anybody's panicking today, here we go. We went from the 25th, 26th, 27th. By the 28th, we were pulling out, and I guess by the 30th, by the end of the month, look at this, back above the baseline, and then we pulled back a little more before rocketing off in mid-December. All right, so there's a little historical price action for a thought. Looks a little bit like last year, sure does, says Quintel, except the difference being that we were like way above the baseline when we entered the Black Friday deal. We went into Black Friday above the baseline, trending upwards. This is where actually, let's go back to where we are now. I will just note this is one difference. We were already firmly below the baseline. Right about my baseline indicator. It disappeared. Oh, well, looks like I broke something. Well, I'll be back to it in a minute. Enough with the digression.
And got bought up.
I was dragging this thing around and now I broke my chart. I'll go back to fix it in a moment. But indeed, there's your Black Friday sale. Let's see here. Knee-jerk reaction from Bloomberg is being pointed out today and laughed at. It initially declared that Bitcoin entered a bear market. All right. Let's see here. Did Bloomberg change the title? Maybe not. All right, enough of that. We know what the price action is. No need to revel too much in it. Let's have a look at this piece. I thought this was interesting. China considers setting up a digital asset exchange to boost ECNY adoption. What? Chinese digital exchange? This is kind of interesting, and I think this might be kind of a sign of what will be to come with central bank digital currencies, right? I mean, might not be long until you're logging onto your favorite centralized exchange, and alongside USDT and USD Circle will be, maybe USD, the digital dollar or some other central bank digital currency, right? State-backed digital asset exchange might soon crop up in China. Crypto might not be able to find a spot there. Well, then this kind of defeats the purpose in this. In a bid to promote the usage of the digital yuan, the center may be pursuing goals to create a digital asset exchange in Beijing. Building infrastructure for digital asset trading is also part of the center's efforts to boost financial services in the capital, blah, 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 blah. All right, I mean, how exactly do you build a digital asset exchange and don't really include cryptocurrencies? I mean, that's what I thought we're talking about. But nonetheless, it might still be a step in the right direction, right? Because China, as we talked about endlessly on the show, has introduced that Chinese yuan, or the digital yuan, I should say. The Chinese yuan, and indeed, they're trying to promote adoption. And I guess what better way to do that than offer people an exchange, digital exchange, to which to deposit and withdraw your monies with. I don't know if you don't have access to cryptos and alts, I'm not sure what you'd really be using this exchange for. Maybe just I guess traditionals. But still, kind of neat, and this would ask the question, if the Fed brought out a digital dollar, and they introduced it on Coinbase, would you guys use it, right? And maybe if you're not an American, you're from somewhere else, if they brought out a digital pound or digital euro, an euro, and your, the local centralized exchange they use offered it. Would you move your tether funds? Would you use your euro? Would the regulations even kick the other coins out, and you'd have to use the Fed bucks, right? That's a good question. And this kind of article and this Chinese initiative to set up a digital exchange to help boost ECNY adoption, I wouldn't be surprised if we get that sooner than later. Especially once they do announce the Fed bucks and people more or less don't want them, they're going to have to probably force it onto somebody like Coinbase for us, crypto and traders to maybe adopt it. All right, that's a bit of a digression as well. Let's go ahead and get into another piece here. Cointelegraph reports on, yes, something interesting as well. Stablecoin issuers poised to be banks of the future on the road to adoption. Stablecoins are destined to grow, experts suggest, but regulation is the only way for the market to reach its full potential. There's no denying the fact that crypto market has grown in strength over the course of 2021 as it's best highlighted by the total cap. Yes, indeed, we hit 3 trillion. That said, stablecoins, a class of cryptos that have their value pegged to fiat currency, have seen their usage increase dramatically in recent months, thanks in large part for the ability to help investors to get their feet wet with digital currencies while eliminating many of the core issues such as daily price volatility currently affecting the crypto market. This is something we probably argue with. I don't think new users really go to stablecoins. This is something we frequently talk about. I think it's more of an advanced retail option. Most people just hodl. New retail people just hodl up or down. They don't really get out into stable coins. I think stablecoin is a more advanced tool in this market, but let's continue. Since 2020, the stablecoin sector has expanded by a staggering 500%, rising from just 20 billion to over 125 billion today. As anyone can imagine, this monumental rise has not gone unnoticed by regulators worldwide, and as such, the Biden admin is now actively looking to devise a bank-like regulatory setup for stablecoin issuers. And even though digital currency backers are known for their anti-regulatory outlook, issuers of stablecoins such as USD Circle and their CEO Jeremy Allaire recently took a supportive stance regarding this issue. In a recent interview, he said that proposals to regulate dollar stablecoin issuers in the U.S. at the federal level signified progress for the industry's growth. Quote, there are real recognition that these are payment stablecoins and they're ready to grow. They could grow at an internet scale relatively quickly, that CEO commented. Indeed, this is something I talk about all the time. This is indeed, the stablecoins and regulation on a federal level is indeed a sign that this space is really growing and maturing. I completely agree with the sentiment here. Let's have a look. Are regulations the way to move forward? This article asks, upon reaching out to Circle, a spokesperson of the company told Cointelegraph that the firm for a long time now has been fully supportive of U.S. Congress establishing federal supervision for issuing stablecoins. Circle added, the rapid scaling and strategic importance of this to dollar competitiveness in the age of crypto and blockchains is critical. We also know that much like with the creation of the internet, it's only through a rigorous public-private sector collaboration that people everywhere will be able to tangibly benefit from public blockchains. That's the end of that quote. All right, interesting stuff. So at least we know where the stablecoin issuers stand in this whole thing. They are more than happy. I mean, as much as people FUD these stablecoin issuers, maybe Tether is probably due for some FUD, but a US-based Circle, for instance, this still gets FUDed. But for the most part, if they were such shady operators, would they welcome such regulation? Maybe Tether's not so welcoming, but it seems like Circle, based on their statement here, is fully on board with that. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, guys. Again, this is, this kind of regulation might open a lot of doors to these coins. And, right now, you might not be able to go to the average payment terminal at your local store and exchange stablecoin there for your payment. But, as we see the future unfold and Congress indeed establishes federal supervision for these stablecoins, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, pretty soon you very well might be cashing out into USDC or something else and being able to pay for it at a local establishment, right? So there you have it, guys. I would explore this a little further, but this article goes quite lengthy, guys. If you want to read more about, the regulatory future of stablecoins and all that, which we talk about also frequently on the show. This is the first frontier, I think, that needs to be landscaped by the regulators. This link will be in the description below. All right, what else do I have to add? Not much more. How are we doing on time? It's 1:30 actually, so I think I have to get to the very last article today, and I'm glad I saved this one for the end. ZY Crypto reporting that investors have been rug pulled as the newest sheep killer, Snow Dog, tumbles from $1,500 to just $100 in minutes. Jason, have you heard about this new sheep killer?
I have not, but its market cap must be real low if it already got to $1,500.
Yes, Snow Dog. Apparently, if you guys didn't hear about Snow Dog, supposed to be the sheep killer. Apparently, all it did was kill the holiday dreams of whoever aped into this. Crypto token known as Snowdog, which is presenting itself as the Shiba Inu killer, appears to be the latest crypto scam that has conned users to the tune of $20 million as the price fell from $1,500 to $100 within just minutes today. The founders had urged investors to buy and stake their SDOG tokens as an investment that they would then... I'm sorry. I can't help it but think that looking
What are
back.
you investing in? Digital dogs.
S-Dogs, Snow Dogs. So they told them to stake their S-Dogs as an investment. They would buy them back with huge profits in 8 days. None of that took place as Thursday dawned. Details are emerging on how this rug pull happened, even as many users cry foul on how they were scammed. The crypto is a meme token today. The owners explained in a blog post that this happening was not a rug pull, but it was game theory, experiment they organized, all with a purpose to promote their project and create a buzz around it. Yeah, you successfully did that. We're talking about Snowdog today. Experiment successful, I guess. They said holders of their token had a choice to sell S-Dogs before the buyback event or compete with others during the buyback at the highest price. This included as part of their instructions. Only a few managed to sell at the highest price of $1,500 during the buyback, after which the price tumbled. But instead of creating a buzz and boosting the price as investors had expected, the price fell to $100 to the frustration of many. Oh God, I'm not sure if I can stomach any more of this article,
Just
but
avoid shit meme coins. Like, just don't do it. Like, wait for people. Like, if they don't go away just in total, I mean, if anything, just wait for them to crash again.
You know, there's something to be said if you got into dog meme coin number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, those might have actually, you might have got in and out and made some. But like now, it's like we're talking about dog meme number 19, 20, 21, 22. You know, how many times have people been washed out by doggy memes at this point that you know, this thing might not have much left to squeeze.
It blows my mind, but it actually reminds me of a certain feeling that I get now, especially like getting into the NFT space. And it reminded me a lot of like when I first started trading, that excitement that you would get from trading, right? And that excitement of being able to flip a little bit of money and turn it into something that's like vastly larger. And like with the NFTs, you're finding that same mentality. But people who are new to trading and seeing all these gains and these like Shiba coins and dog coins and all this bullshit, like I think it triggers that same sense of like, okay, yes, like I can get rich, you know, like that get rich quick mentality. And it's just crazy to me that so many people fall for that shit.
Indeed.
No such thing as a free lunch, people.
Indeed, that's greed, guys. That's just how it goes. I get that. There's so much money to be made. You know, you look at the bubbles every day, and every day there's, well, even on a red day like this, guys. In fact, because we're pretty much done with the news, so let's go ahead and get into that. I'll make my next point in the bubble scene. And it's a mighty red day in the bubbles, as you'd expect. But there's always there's always something here to catch your attention. In this case, ANKR is up 27%, bucking the trend. And Gala still performed pretty strong today. Gala's up 10% today, and BAT even squeezes in a few points as well. But yeah, you know, there's not a day that goes by you don't look at bubbles and you see something like ANKR up, you know, 20-30%, and you ask yourself, well, what the hell? How come I'm not, you know, in on price action like that?
And then you get all these people that see that green bubble, and then they go, okay, if that's the only thing going up today, I'm gonna ape into that, and then everything else turns around and that dumps.
Yep. And so I get that. I get the idea of FOMO, that you missed out, that there's gains everywhere, and it's you know, some people just have bad luck. Some people are kind of like Johnny, I guess. You know, every time you press the button, you lose money, and it's just how the game goes, and a lot of that has to do with greed and aping into the wrong doggies at the wrong time, I suppose. But there you have it. Now that now that I've talked so much trash about Snowdog, you know that like by this time next week we're going to be talking about Snowdog having pumped back to 1,500, right?
Oh yeah, I should just go find where it's being sold right now and just go sweep the floor.
Probably getting nuked on a DEXE near you. All right, so with that said, guys, let's go ahead. Yes, bubbles. It's a mighty red space, and what can we say? It's pretty much a double-digit down day for a lot of the top tokens. Everything down 10 to 15% across the board. Some of it a little under, but what is there really to report? I already mentioned Gala. Well, an ANKR. Did ANKR disappear? Did ANKR get sold into? Because the ANKR bubble is no longer here.
I just sold it.
And it's gone. All right. Well, that's what. All right. So, yes, we have much fewer examples of greenity over here, but otherwise, yeah, guys, what's there to say? Everything is mighty red. I can't even locate the anchor. They just canceled. Anchor just
It's gone.
I'm sorry,
It
guys.
literally got rug pulled in real time.
It was a dimensional shift, guys. We just arrived at another parallel Earth, one that doesn't include anchor pumping today. With that said, not much more to add because it's mighty right out here, and I'm not here to revel in all the alt losses today. For all we know, this is the dip to buy. With that said, let's go ahead.
Historically, it has been. Black Friday has gotten sold into, and then it gets bought back up. But it's silly to make assumptions that history will repeat itself. Like
Indeed.
we always say, like history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. I mean, it's a big
Look, Jason.
entity. What's that?
You might not know about this. A bit of a Bitcoin secret we have in this space. All right. And it gets a man a free big screen TV every year. All right. So you sell before Black Friday. All right.
Yeah, get the Cuisinart and the magic bullet.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then by Saturday you're buying back in, okay? And you've got the same amount of Bitcoin, but you're up one big screen TV in profits. It's and you do rinse and repeat every year, bro. It works that simple.
Oh, I've been doing this wrong, huh?
Been doing this all wrong, bro. Should have a TV for every Thanksgiving you put up in Bitcoin.
Okay, that's what I'll start doing every Black Friday. I have to sell all my stack, then buy back in on the dip.
I mean, that's what that article said, man. The article said people selling for profits to get into their, cheap merchandise.
Yeah, people selling their life savings and lifetime investments for Samsung.
To get that 50% off the Cuisinart.
Need that 72-inch.
Well, you need that new linguine maker, bro.
Linguine?
50% off this weekend, man. Get the Cuisinart linguine extruder. You need that. All right,
I'll get on that.
Enough bullshit, guys. Let's get into it. Franklin MC, good Friday morning. Yes, good Friday morning to our boy Franklin MC. GT Mark IV, what up, y'all? Big what up to our boy GT on YouTube. Let's see here. Who's this? It's Z. Sup, guys? Big shout out to you on DLive. Crypto Bull 21. My bot didn't fail, but got pushed out of DOT. But I still got pushed out of DOT. I see. Well, condolences, Crypto Bull 21.
4 hours signal, so that doesn't surprise me at all. It's pissing me off that 3 commas did what it did, because considering it was a 4-hour position, now I'm in drawdown on that position that I did not need to be in. I could have just gotten stopped out where I should have and been fine. But again, 3 commas kind of pissing me off on that. But what can you do?
Black Friday, it's one of those days. Tricon32, big shout outs to you on DLive. Hello, guys. Big hello to you. Cybernetics joining us on.
That could be what it is. Everyone's selling their Bitcoin to get on shopping sprees for 3 commas of TradingView.
In the process.
Everyone's sucking into that Black Friday deal on TradingView.
I know, and then breaking their systems in the process. Cybernetics.
Bitcoin, goddammit.
Says, yes, I'm buying an Alienware X17. Well, big spender. Nothing like dropping, three grand on a laptop. I expect to see you online. You got a gaming laptop. We're going to do some gaming, homie. Crypto Bull 21. Big shout out to you on DLive. Cybernetics with the 160 watt 3080. Wow, try not to melt your house down. That thing pulls a lot of power. Cybernetic faxes used to. All right, not going to talk about that. Let's keep going. But shout out to the homie with the 3060 in his laptop and the 160 watt power supply. He's got a pretty slick video card in his laptop.
Are you jealous?
Nah, my system still kicks a lot of ass.
My system still kicks ass.
Yeah. Let's have a look here. Ernest, I mean, it probably walks all over a 3060 in a laptop. But nonetheless, for a laptop, that's a pretty bitchin' setup. Shout out to Cybernetics. I guess I don't have an Alienware laptop, so maybe I am a little jealous. Let's have a look here. Let's see here. Ernest the Gaia, cheers all. Well, big shout outs to Ernest the Gaia. Crypto Bull, why not CO2? Why still 19? Oh, COO 21. I gotcha. Indeed. Boris Bitcoin, crude oil is down more than Bitcoin's down 12%. Big oof. GT Mark IV.
On the chin.
GT Mark IV. CDC.
Yeah, all the markets are kind of taking it on the chin right now. Look at it. I mean, even the DEXE's falling. Everything's falling. So, I mean, it's not just the crypto space with the FUD. So, I mean, you might be right in the fact that this whole variant news, the new variant, is really driving fear again.
Could be. I don't know how much of this is just it's just a narrative that they beam into
Speculation.
onto people's TVs and into your that news feed that shows up on your phone when if you
That
don't
pretty
disable
skull
it.
of yours.
Yeah. Dude, that's serious. Like there's a lot of people who they don't follow news, but if they get that stupid news feed in their phones like notification
No, I
thing,
totally get it. Like media is just wild these days in the
yeah,
sense
and
of
all
all they're
people read is
trying to do is
headlines.
get attention, and they don't care
Mhm.
how.
Mhm. So even if you're
It's
not
just
following the
driving,
news,
yeah, digital, your digital footprint. It's just like trying to push a narrative. I mean, you have to believe at some point we're gonna get smarter to like akin to this.
I
But
don't know, dude.
having that kind of faith seems hard right now,
This
doesn't it?
whole thing demonstrates that human are sheep and they're meant to be herded, and it's and the
Here come the space commies.
the real mystery, the real like art, I think, to the elite's power is knowing how to like create this illusion,
You
create
in your spot
the
and
right
make you think that you're stuck there because of you.
Yeah, the great structure of incentives, and they create the big narrative, right? They craft the big narrative that drives society forward, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be true, I guess is what I'm getting at. You just have to craft the right story to get everything kind of aligned a certain way, and well, there you go. That's civilization. With that said, let's go ahead and keep it
Defense
going.
lawyer.
When commodities are tanking, the DEXE's rising. That's hyperinflation, isn't it?
Yeah, but we're not. It's not rising right now. It's crashing with it.
Yes, exactly. I
Well,
think
for the
he's being a little
moment, I mean-
sarcastic. That's what he's being tongue in cheek when he
Yeah.
says that. But let's continue. MacW, take the let's see. I'm not going to keep it. I really try, as much as we veered into this topic today, I'm still trying to avoid it. But shoutouts to MacW, GT Mark IV, Tricon 32. Have you checked CRV for a good? Yeah, I'm going to add CRV to the request line. Hang tight, Crypto Bull. Always a dip on Black Friday. Yeah, smart money. Tricon
Here.
32. Sorry, I meant CRO. Oh, okay, no problem. We will do CRO and not curve, no problem. CRO. Crypto Bull 20, at least.
These NFT messages on Discord are just getting out of hand, man. I had 100 from sleeping and getting up.
Oh my god. Well, you gotta set your maybe your Discord security up to friends only, so you can only get DMs from people on your list. There's ways to kind of filter
Yeah,
that.
we'll talk about it after the show.
Yeah, and if they're all coming from a certain server, you might want to, block DMs from that server, that kind of thing. Anyhow, let's keep it going. Sad I missed Crow at 95 cents. Hope we go back soon. Yeah, what is Crow at right now? I'm just going to quickly check in and see if I need to cry some more or... Oh, no, it's kind of back to where I sold it off to. So here it is, 68
Told you it
cents.
would be fine. Like, just give it a couple days.
I know, doesn't mean I'm buying back in. With that said, let's keep it going.
Yeah, of course.
I already spent all that cash. Crypto Cats, I already mentioned. Crypto Cats, how is everyone doing? Doing good. Boris Bitcoin, Dow futures down over 1,100 points now. I think this is the biggest single day drop since June 2020. Yes, Dow looking mighty ugly. The FUD is real, guys. They just pulled the FUD out. Somebody had the FUD, the South Africa FUD in the drawer, just waiting to pull it out on Black Friday. That's what it feels like today, guys. They were just saving it, People waking up a little hungover, still stuffed, full of turkey, and they're like, boom, They play the South Africa variant card. What's that game? Yu-Gi-Oh, like a dramatic Yu-Gi-Oh scene, right?
Yeah,
Where it's like, boom, playing the card.
bamboozled variant.
Exactly. Jag077, would you please take a look at Gitcoin and Elf? I will add that to the request line. Ron Legato, I'm late. Late for Ron Legato, who's usually first in the chat, but you're here perfectly on time. We haven't really got into anything substantial just yet. All bullshittery so far. I mean, all these tokens. Murdoch the Murloc is with us on Twitch. Big shoutouts to Murdoch. What's going on with ANKR? Don't see any reason for it to pump. Well... Apparently,
Sure, if you dig, you'll find something.
Well, what's gone
Well,
from...
what is Anchor? Do you know anything about that coin? I do think that Bybit just added it, and they do a good job of sorting it, so I can see real quick if it's like a metaverse play or anything.
Maybe it was related to the Bybit listing that you just said.
Yeah, but I haven't been noticing that
Coins
that
are pumping off
same-
that, yeah.
Yeah, that same Coinbase effect that we tend to see, right? But it is impressive to see all of the new coins that
Well,
I think they're adding
whatever-
2 or 3 coins. So
Whatever
it's making it-
happened with ANKR apparently ran the course because it's gone from bubbles. I don't know what happened since. Maybe
take a look at it.
did they get canceled? Did Crypto Bubbles cancel them mid-pump? That's maybe what happened.
I don't know. It's still up on the hourly and everything else, like it hasn't had a crash or anything, so I'm not sure why
These
Bubbles
bubbles,
just like delisted it.
these bubbles have a funny way of filtering them. With that said, let's keep it going, guys. Gonna mention a couple more comments. And we're getting into the next segment. Let's see. Requesting DEXE and storage. Yep, I will add that. Shoutouts to you. Cybernetics doggy coins are up to the plate soon. Okay, Jason. Sure, if you do. Is that right?
Dropping block or the plate?
Cybernetics guys, the dip is good for NFTs. I certainly hope so. Summer Bear was NFT bull. Okay. Bird, ape the dip. Okay, ape the dip. That's a good advice from Bird. Shoutouts to Bird. CryptoBull21, we mentioned Cybernetics. Don't buy. No, thanks, bro. Let's see here. CryptoBull21, Web3 coins. Big shoutouts. Ron Legato storage is up 25%. Nice. Bird. I went on the shopping spree for TradingView. 3 commas and PC components. Well, good stuff. All quality pickups on a Black Friday from the sounds of it. ETH1. Hi, everyone. Big shout outs to ETH1. Yeah, you know what? I haven't looked at any PC hardware. That reminds me I should. It is Black Friday. CryptoBull21 dot is still cheap, I think, though. Polkadot still cheap. Same. Let's see here. A couple more comments, guys, and we're out of here. Mr. Ether finally joins us. Big shout outs to Mr. Ether, Robert Warner. And now, let's see here. Pulse, China pulling out of, oh, do you mean plus? Plus China's pulling out of U.S. markets? Ah, okay. I'm not so sure. Is there a real exodus of Chinese money from U.S. equities? Mr. Ether, Gala is still up. Yeah, Gala's still up there and super strong. Anchor's only down 1 cent since it disappeared. Yeah, so I don't know what happened. They just disappeared Anchor. It was flying too high. We can't have that on a day like this. It's got to be all FUD, all bread. Apparently that's maybe it was behind. I'm speculating. F Gala. I'm so salty at that one, says Crypto Bull. Well, no need to be salty, my man. Your loss or your miss is somebody's gain. In this case, it's Mr. Ether's kid. He gets the last laugh. While Crypto Bull cries himself to sleep at night. Shoutouts to Robert Warner Jr. II. Let's just continue into the next segment. Jason, you ready to hop into the charts? We ready to do this?
Yes, sir.
All right. Guys, it's been fun. We had a nice extended intro segment. Much love, and getting into it now. Boom. Jason's on screen. At least his chart is. Let me just put this away. And Bitcoin USD 24-hour Bitstamp. I'm going to go start collecting people's requests, and Jason's going to hold it down for the next few minutes. I'll be right back.
All right, let's have some fun. Well, I mean, I'm going to be pretty short today, probably, because the markets just look like shit. I mean, that's all we can really say right now. We're coming back down to test this level here at that 54.3. We just have to see if this holds, because this is a historic level of support coming down here, and it's something that we've talked about for quite a while on this gap here from that 52 up to that 54 where we're sitting right now. And then if we cruise through that, I think that it's very likely that we'll come back down to tap this level here at 48, which has been the plan from the beginning. As you guys know, got short here. Hit TP1, then we just kind of ranged around, finally tried to make a little pop back above, and then instantly just got murdered overnight. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not super shocked by this. I didn't expect it to be all just overnight, like go to bed, the chart's looking fine, and then wake up just getting hammered. But I mean, it is coming down to test levels. It's not anything out of the norm. We're just gonna have to see if we can start holding here. One thing that I do notice, just what I like to see, what's happening in the markets, and seeing what kind of premium that we're getting if we go in here with neobutanes, which is fixed by now, that I finally gone back and looked at it. We are starting to get a premium on price, which we haven't gotten for a little while here. Over here got sold into, of course, but usually when you see high volatility creating a premium on price, that there's likely a trade to the upside somewhere in there. We're just going to have to wait to see on that. Lower time frames, actually giving you a short here, but a little too far extended for anything that I could be taking here. And I think that that's the right call. We have these rules to keep us out of chop. And with the premium that's building, this very well could pop back up and for a baseline bounce. But then again, it also could just grow another leg down. So we just got to be careful of that. It's kind of, again, making me mad that the positions that I should be stopped out at break even right now are still just getting slaughtered because of 3 commas. But I think that there might be an opportunity in here for me to still get out, either at break even or still at a little bit of a gain, even if I don't get all the way back up to the break even. So I'm willing to be patient here right now. Like I said, comp and Bitcoin shorts doing well. And then other things are just kind of taking it on the chin right now. If we look at, oh, sorry, this is my purple list overview. Here we go. Bitcoin here on the daily, the same thing, getting sold into. This is the Bitstamp chart. We haven't broken any trends. I would wait to see if any of these do. I think it's likely that we either trade sideways here or down over the next coming days. Sideways being that we get a pop up to maybe that like 56,000 range and then kind of just go here until we break down, or we could break up. Like we're kind of in no man's land right now, because if this holds, there is a good chance that we get that Black Friday pop back up, and then would be sweet to get continuation up into the higher 80s, 100,000. But all we can do right now is just kind of see where we're having support. And I think that if you're not short this, then you should just be sitting on your hands to see what kind of price action we do end up getting, whether support ends up holding or you end up getting a more discounted Bitcoin. So when the charts look like this, in my opinion, if you're not in positions already in the right direction, I think that this might be a time to rethink your strategy on, okay, maybe getting into cash or getting out of some losing positions, because you can't let this thing get too far out of hand. It's one of the reasons why I'm so upset about my stop losses getting canceled, because when they get hit, they get hit. I don't get a choice in it, and I like that. And now I have a choice in it, and I don't want to take the bigger loss. But like I said, I got to just be patient for now and see what kind of price action we end up getting. We actually are getting a little bit of premium on the daily, which is interesting. We haven't gotten that for a very long time. But other than that, I think that it's time to just kind of sit on the sidelines if you're not already in a profitable short position on Bitcoin and see what happens. Oh, sorry. I don't know what happened there. Quadrigo here so we don't have so much noise. Sorry for putting so many lines here. It's just kind of how I visually do it. But yeah, I think that this 54,000 range is a really important level. If we look at the weekly, coming back down here to tap. So again, we're just going to have to wait to see what kind of support, or if sellers step in or if buyers step in. But at this point, I think that the play likely will be to the downside. Everything is looking very weak here. Almost signaling another continuation short on time transformation. If any closes like this, it would be, but it might be a candle size violation for my strategy. We'll just have to see on daily close. Coming over here to Bitcoin dominance, getting sold into a nice little pump up here on the day, but getting sold into now. You are sitting here at a crucial support level, so if it cruises through this, then you're definitely coming all the way down here to 41. Ethereum, hold strong, little weed. It does not look good, man. This is one of those ones that sucks, because with the 13, when you start getting lower volatility, what happens is it starts chopping you up here. Look, a continuation short, a good long signal. I was actually very tempted yesterday to look at longing Ethereum again here, because this is a good signal. You are under resistance, but quality signal, everything that you want to look for, but immediately got sold into here. So glad I didn't take that position. Just hung on to the lower time frame, a 4-hour position that we were in, and now I'm just going to have to see what happens. But the day closing like this would be a full short on Ethereum. So keep that in mind. Alt perp getting hammered just like everything else. It does seem to correlate a lot with these 100 EMAs. As you can see here, that is black. I don't know why it keeps defaulting to black, because I change it every time. No, let's go with pink. There we go. That works. So yeah, everything's coming up here, and we're starting to get pinched between the 100 and 200, as you can see here. The red and the yellow. Every chart seems to look like this, so whether we start to get support off of these 100 EMAs will remain to be seen. But going through DeFi perp, giving you a full actually nope, the continuation short was here, which would have been a good signal on the baseline pullback. Dragon Perp actually coming down and testing its 200 EMA, which is interesting. So you'll have to see if you get any support off that, but you could. I mean, that's usually how you see it, and there is some historical support down here. So interesting to see. This looks a lot more constructed than a lot of charts, and I hope that we do end up getting that buyback. But this is a chart that I'd be like, okay, this I could see it being likely that you do get a buyback. And if Dragon Perp ends up getting it, then the market as a whole could end up getting a nice buyback. But again, we'll just have to wait and see. Mid Perp getting slaughtered. Ship Perp did end up having a good signal here when I was talking about last week, and we did see some shitcoins do well, and then now finally getting sold into there. Gold just kind of languishing here, had a nice up day and then getting sold into. This could end up being very negative for gold. You'll just have to see if this level holds between here. Could have some more sideways. We do have some reports coming out here soon. Silver not looking very good either. You are coming back down here to test this level, which could end up being support. But again, like this is one of those days where we're just kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Of course, the Dow Jones gapping down way hard. QQQ not gapping, but giving you that full short signal. Buy gapping way down, not gapping, sorry. And then the DEXE also getting sold into, but not anything that's ridiculous. You're just kind of a baseline bounce at this point. We'll just have to see what comes of that. But other than that, I think that things do look really weak right now. But we all know how one day can change the market completely. And historically, we have seen price appreciate after the dip from Black Friday. So we'll just kind of have to give it a couple more days and then see what we can get. But if not, then if we do begin to break down, then I think that a close below 52, I think 48 is guaranteed on Bitcoin. But again, we'll just have to get there when we get there.
All right. Big shout outs to everybody. Well, I guess everybody here, because we're going to get into the request line. I just took that as my cue to maybe cut in here. Jason, what do you think? You ready to get to the request, or am I hopping in too early?
Nope. I mean, like I said, today I'm not going to really have
Cool.
that much because everything looks the same. But we're just going to have to see if we end up getting support out of this.
All right, no worries. Still adding a couple last requests. So let's go ahead and put these in here, including this one right now from Boris Bitcoin. He wants to look at CHR and Civic, CVC. All right, CVC and CHR on the list, but we're going to get started right now. Let's do it. First request of the day is going to be the following. Shout outs to Tricon32. Can you check out CRO for a good buy-in zone and then sell-in zone? All right, who wants to catch the CRO knife and figure out how to play this one?
And this is exactly what I was talking about when I mapped this out the other day. You wait for these parabolic trends to move. So right now you're getting a nice three black crows pattern off a new high. I do like this pattern for reversals. You're coming down from here for a baseline bounce. I don't think it would be silly to look at an entry here, but again, if the market begins to tank, then you're not going to want to be in this position and get out below a close of this trend line, which you would get probably within these 2 days. So any close below that baseline, around that 65 cents, I think would be a bearish sentiment. And then with follow through, you're likely to get a full short signal out of this. Be honest with you, if we break this parabolic trend, I think that you would likely rip down all the way to here. But the first place you'd be looking for an entry, if you were looking to catch this this lesser parabolic trend, probably looking at around that 42-cent range if you got a pullback here and then a buyback. Let's see if we got any. And yeah, this is a beautiful 3-day continuation signal, and it doesn't surprise me with the distance to the baseline that you would get some throwback here, and you're coming back down to test this level. I don't think that this is necessarily a horrible spot if you're looking for reversals, but I think you need to wait a little bit longer for more evidence. Like this, say if we do hold here and end up closing back above that 79, then I think that this is going to rip to price discovery once again. But as of now, it looks stronger than other things because it's had a great appreciation, and now it's coming back down to test its baseline, which coincides with historical support. So you'll just have to wait and see. But as of now, nothing you can do. The daily would be having you get out of a long position here on the crossover of time transformation and minks. But do with that what you will. Again, a close below that baseline is going to end up being bearish, but you have to see what holds. And then you said, what was the...
All right, up next, big shout outs to Tricon32 for that look at CRO. Next up is Gitcoin for Jag077. Can you look at Gitcoin? Yeah, Gitcoin. Is that just going to be Git, G-I-T? Let me go look.
Yay!
Gitcoin.
Having a day, boy, having a day.
GTC. Didn't this just recently come out? Isn't this a fairly new coin, guys? If I'm not mistaken, I think it's a fairly...
It's just Gitcoin, right?
Yes. Top trading pair is on Binance, GTC USDT.
GTC.
Actually, let me just see here. Is that the top trading pair? Yes. Majority of the volume is on Binance, GTC USDT, followed by Coinbase, GTC USD.
No, I mean, no one can deny that you're getting a great candle off this. There's not that much data. The weekly would be a good signal, especially a close right here above this resistance, I think is likely for continuation on this. You'll have to wait for the weekly to close, but the daily, just too far extended for me to do anything with it, man. Didn't quite catch it here. As you see, we got sold into on this long signal, and then WADA went away. So, like I said, your systems aren't going to catch everything. So this was one that I would have missed, but yeah, it's getting a great leg up off of this, which is currently above all resistance. So wait for the daily. If you do get a close above here, you're likely to get continuation on GTC. Too far for me to want to enter into it, but if you're in it, I would think it would be a great sign to stay in it and see what else you can get. Rising explosion level, everything looks really good here.
All right, brilliant. Crypto Bull notifying everybody that gas is only 85 gwei right now. Yeah, I hear the gas has cooled off right now, so this could be a good time to get those cheap transitions in. Indeed. With that said, that would be, I guess, a brief look at Gitcoin. Next up is ELF, E-L-F.
ELF?
Yes, ELF. ELF on the shelf.
I haven't heard ELF in a while.
ELF. Holy crap, there's several ELFs. Is it ELF token?
This is a hard one, man. I do like this signal a lot, but this is one of those ones that could end up just shitting on you. These wicks are concerning to me. But other than that, you are getting this, could be interpreted as a little inverse head and shoulders, but no. I do like that you're basically getting an upside down ascending triangle here that's coming down. Now you're getting a break above the baseline. This is going to go on my list tonight for sure. I do like this. I'm a little hesitant on this big old wick. This seems like people getting out of their bags possibly. But the one thing that will push this over the edge for me is if we end up getting a rising explosion level by the end of the night, then this is going to be a good signal to take. I do think that there's potential here, but as you can see from my system, ELF has kind of got chopped up every time I've gotten a good signal. So one bad signal. Two bad signals. Three bad signals. Four bad signals. So this could be the fifth one. As I'm saying, some coins just don't work very well for your strategies, and this does not appear to test well for mine. But a break above this trend line and a close above it, I think, is going to be signs that it's a broken trend, and you're likely to get a swing up here to that 84 cents range. So keep an eye on it. But again, my system doesn't backtest very well on this. But if you get a close above that 55-cent range, then I think that you'll likely end up getting a rising explosion level as well, and then it's going to be game on. But I do like ELF here.
All right, big shout outs to our dear Jag077 for the look at Gitcoin and ELF. Got next up is ANKR. Yes, let's take a look at ANKR. Crypto Bull asks, what's going on with ANKR? I don't see any reason. Yes, let's at least do a little case study. Was there any kind of trade we could have caught on ANKR, or did it just...
Well, I was talking about this last week on this level here and waiting to see if it breaks. And then if you get this break of trend, I think we went down to lower time frames on this. Yeah. So on the 4-hour, we had it marked out. It might have even been the 12-hour. Yeah, right here. So I was looking at this what could have either been a bull pennant. It just depended on that time. We didn't have any price above the break of trend. I do think that this is a beautiful signal, to be honest with you. Looking at the daily, it's just too extended. You could end up getting a pullback intraday, and then any close above that 14-cent range. I mean, it's good as gold, man. I think that you're good for continuation all day on this. So wait for the daily close. If it closes like this, I think that it's a little too far extended to take a full risk position on it, especially at the resistance on the weekly here. But it does appear, if you see this, that we are breaking this trend. So it's very likely that this could have continuation. So look for it at the end of the day. If it closes like this, if you're going to take it, don't take a full risk position. I just would maybe even split it 33% and ladder in, because I think it's very likely that you'll end up getting a bounce of at least that 13.8 range to come down here and test this support. And whether that holds or not, I mean, that'll be a sign for you to get out as well. Or you could just go for the baseline bounce, hope you get it, and then off to the races. Because how many times do you take a daily signal and then it just works out as soon as it happens? You usually deal with some drawdown, and you can't be scared of missing out. So some of those you just got to kind of look to see what's the best strategy. And it closed this high, I think, is too big of a candle violation to take a full position. But it looks great. Anchor looks great here.
Indeed.
I don't know what news caused it, but clearly something.
Might have been something, but ostensibly nothing. We'll find out. Maybe do a little more digging later. Let's go ahead and get into the next request. What do we have here? Oh, yeah, how are we doing on time? It's 2:06. That's good. Let's say 10 minutes to go. Not even 10 minutes to go for that D-Live chest. Get a few lemons in, guys, and we will be giving away a nice... I'll double up today. It's Black Friday. We're going to double up on my usual amount of lemons. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get into Mr. Ether's request. He wants to look at Dreams. Dreams USDT on KuCoin. So make sure you're looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much data here, of course. We've gotten one signal here, which would be a good signal, but you just don't know with the data. Like I said, like we were just looking at ELF, like sometimes the systems don't test as well on other coins. But this is a full signal for what data that we do have. I marked out this level here because any close below that level, that 45, I think that you're likely to end up getting sold into. So do with that what you will. There is a signal here to take to the upside. Actually, nope, I'm sorry. What was the high here? High of 69.8. Let's go look at this real quick. Where did my data window go? There it is. Weird. Okay, so that would have taken us up to 70.62 high. Yep, you would not have hit TP1 yet, so you still would be in this position, getting a little bit better entry on it, with the stop sitting at around 31 cents, and then you know to get out if you get a close below there anyways. But it does appear with the limited amount of data that we have that there is a trend to the upside moving here. But again, if the markets tank, this will tank too. And there's just not enough data.
All right, not much Jason can execute on that one, but shoutouts to Mr. Ether. Dreams USDT on KuCoin is in the bag. Give that a... Crypto Bull 21 is up next. I think you meant to write DeFi Perp. He says DeFi Perp on Binance. Please, okay. There's a DeFi Perp on Binance?
I don't think there is a DeFi Perp.
There isn't. Oh, is it? Okay, well,
DeFi USDT Perp, like
that. Yeah, maybe that's it. Click that, and I'll wait. Crypto Bull's on the ball. He usually replies. Are we looking at the right one? Do let us know, Crypto Bull. In the meantime, TA this one.
I mean, this doesn't look very good in my opinion. Yeah, you do have some historical support right here, but you're definitely... This looks like a failure to achieve right here. Again, this is one that you're just going to have to be patient with. You are getting a full signal, short signal with a rising explosion level, and you're not too far away from your baseline, so wait for the daily close. This is another one where you're just getting chopped up the exact same way as like ETH, because got a quality signal here yesterday and then immediately just got smashed. So it's one of the reasons why you need to limit your risk and not take a ton of trades each day, because the day that it does come when you end up being wrong, it usually smokes those positions. And honestly, glad that I didn't take any more positions. I was fine with the risk that I was at yesterday, which I announced to the group, but could have been a lot worse. But yeah, it looks like a full short signal here. I wouldn't have a problem taking this. It's got everything that you're looking for in a signal. Just wait for the daily close, and then you can go ahead and give this a shot. Looks like, let's get up here. What's happened? Short. There we go. So if this signal were to go, and I do like this stop because it's above here, and I think that's going to give you a good sign that things are likely to continue to the upside. I would have a stop loss timeout on this because if we wicked up and then got sold into and closed back below the baseline, I would still feel pretty safe in that position. But if we were to take this as close, you would take the position here at 27.47 and put your take profit 1 at 25.22 with the stop loss at 3,085, and that's a great risk to reward setup there, because if it does get up to your stop, then you know it's very likely that this is going to break out again.
All right.
Yep.
Brilliant. Well, that would be hopefully the right one for Crypto Bull. That would be DeFi Perp on Binance. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the next one. Before I do, actually, I'm going to read a couple comments. 5 minutes to go for the D-Live chest, by the way. ETH1 says, I like how all these signals I like how all of those good signals are appearing after this deep, like a fake log signal. But I think we're going to go up from here to recover. All right, yes. Indeed, I understand the idea that.
I do too, to be honest with you, like I really do feel that, but I don't want to commit to that, because part of me is like, okay, like what's more likely to happen with this chart pattern? And I really want it to go up, but there's a good chance that we could go sweep the 48s before we get any kind of push to the upside.
Yeah, I want to feel that way too, but I totally understand people being apprehensive about aping into a long position here and just snapping up a long signal. Maybe the smart thing to do, especially being that, yes, this Black Friday thing is a great opportunity to board the next leg up. But yes, I understand people being apprehensive. That FUD we've been talking about all show does seem strong. With that said, with that said, let's go ahead and get into the next request. Oh yeah, one last. Master J over on Twitch became a subscriber, something like a follower. Yes, thank you, Mr. J over on Twitch. Good to have new followers there. Let's go ahead and get into the next request. It's the following for Murdoch to Murloc on Twitch. DEXE and storage, please.
Well, I'll be honest with you. It's got a well-established range over the last few months. You are coming right up on resistance with a continuation signal here. Not usually one I like to take, especially right at resistance, but if you get a close above this close, where did this open at? This opened at 1624, and we're currently at 1625. Any close like this, I do believe that you're proving that you're turning resistance into support here, and I think that this is a good trade. A little overextended for my system, but I could totally see like a 60 with how consistent price has been here. I guarantee this will be like a full signal on, say, like Alex's system. We can check that out real quick. A little overextended for a full risk position, but there is a trade here in my opinion. You can kind of fade this the same way that I faded the LRC trade that we took the other day. We entered in half of the position at market at close, and then we put our last remaining part of the position down here on the test of resistance. Got swooped up beautifully, and then we carried on to TP1. I think that there's an opportunity for that here as well. This looks strong, and if you get a close above that 1624, then I think that this is good to go. But with the extension above the baseline, it might be a little bit too much to take a full risk position at market. So I would ladder this position. I can mark this off tonight, and we can check it out at close. But it's a constructive chart, and it looks bullish.
All right, good stuff. Well, that would be a look at DEXE in storage for our boy Murdoch. The Twitch chat, getting into the next one. Just a minute or so to go for that D-Live chest. I'm going to get ready. We have CHR for Boris Bitcoin.
Take me to church. full short signal today. You are coming down here to test this level. Like I was saying, there's a lot of signals that are probably going to be out there today, and if we end up holding these levels like Bitcoin is at this 54 range, then I do think it's likely that we get reversals from here. But I'm going to have to side on the side of caution with this, just because you can't really, when you're getting quality signals, you can't just be like, oh, my bias is telling me this and I can't take the signals. The only thing that would make this better is a rising explosion level, but there's a full short signal on the table here, taking you down to 84.28, and I do like that trade just because it's the bottom of this level, and if we do get that sweep to say like 49 on Bitcoin, then this is definitely going to be a good short signal as well. So do with that what you will, but for my system, it is a full short signal.
All right, lemons are preparing right now, guys. The lemons coming your way in about 60 seconds. So what's going on here? Oh my God, D-Live doing D-Live things again? I can't do, oh my God. Come on, let's see if this works. What is this? Chat requires, oh, understood. Bear with me guys 1 second. 500 lemon Xenos going into the chest right now, and we are gonna prepare to deploy any second now, so probably by the time you're hearing this message, that prompt is appearing on your screen, guys. Get ready, get ready, get ready, here it goes. I just clicked it. Good luck to everybody. That would be the lemons coming your way right now. All right, let me just get this on screen very quickly here. Here's the counter, and back into the request line. Good luck, good luck, good luck. All right, into the request line we go. Who is next? All right, so we look at CHR, CVC, Civic. Did you already do Civic or about to do Civic?
I'm looking at it right now. So looking at the monthly, the weekly, I'm going to be honest with you. This looks great. The weekly is going to give you a continuation at the end of the week, and then the daily is actually giving you a continuation right now with rising explosion level and WADA, which is not something you need for a continuation. But any close above this level here of this resistance level, in my opinion, is going to be a solid break of that trend and going to give you enough juice in there to take this up to the next level. Like I said, looking at the monthly chart, you got a full continuation right here. Looking at the weekly chart, you're getting a continuation now. It could end up being a failure to achieve. So if you end up wanting to just kind of sit on your knees over the weekend, sit on your hands, not make any calls, you could wait for that weekly signal and then take that. But any close back above this level, I do think is a good continuation for the daily to take you up to... Come on, Quadrigo. Yep, to take you up to that TP1 of 62 cents. I do think that there's room in there. I think that it's a quality signal. You would have, like with this signal, you would have ended up sweeping some TPs and then getting out at break even, and now you're getting that continuation off of it. I think this is a beautiful continuation signal, and if it closes anything like this, I think you should be in it.
All right, sweet. Big shouts to Crypto Cats taking away the top spot in today's lemon giveaway. Big shout outs to Anyword, ETH1, and everybody else. Got a few lemons in the bag today. With that said, big shout outs to Burst Bitcoin. That request is scratched off the list. All right, we got 12 minutes left in the show. Only a couple of requests still left. MacW on YouTube wants us to take a look at Sand.
I mean, so what can be said about Sand? Sand just had an incredible run. All these metaverse coins have. If you're in it, you are getting these take profit signals. Right now, yesterday, you got one on time transformation, which is even better than the signal from yesterday, but you'll just have to wait for close. But this could go both ways, in my opinion. When you get this long candle up here and then sideways action, you usually just kind of languish sideways to catch up with the trend and then bounce off of it. So looking at this, any close below $5.37 would be your real sign to just get out completely. But if you have been in it, this would be a good time to start taking some profit. I wouldn't suggest entering here, especially when your oscillators are crossing over. But again, this could just keep marching sideways, and then we get another pump out of Sand. We just don't know how big this metaverse stuff is going to be, and clearly across the board, they're doing well. But if anything, take some profit on it. If you're fine with the position long term, then hold on to it. But again, any close below that $5.18. That's where the baseline is. $5.13. Sorry. Any close below there, I would say that's a broken trend, and you're likely to come back down and test the 200 EMA at that point. But still a constructive chart. Not a ton of weakness here. It's not crazy to see this thing sell off a little bit for a baseline bounce and then get continuation up. Again, metaverse is just the buzzword of the year. So I think it has potential to keep going. But from this chart, likely go sideways a little bit before it gets that push.
All right, there's your look at sand. Big shout outs to Mr. Ether. He came through with a diamond super chat on DLive. Much thanks, Mr. Ether. Those diamonds really do go a long way around here. ITZY is England, says Crypto Bull. He certainly is England, because he definitely got the old heave-ho. Promptly banned that fool. So there's that. Let's see here. Metaverse players, says Crypto Cat. It's going to be huge. Yes, play on Metaverse players. It is going to be huge. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the next request. Just a couple left in today's show. Rocket on D-Line wants to look at Monero XMR.
I mean, Monero looks terrible here. You'll just have to wait and see if this actually becomes a level of support or if it ends up rejecting, closing below, and then getting even more sell-off. But nothing you can do with it here. It's too overextended. There was some continuation signals. Rip to the guy last week who was talking about how I was so wrong on these being shorting opportunities for XMR.
But, that was XLM. It was XLM. But I bet you if we check in on,
that's right.
if we check in on XLM, I bet you, out of curiosity,
I guarantee you it looks exactly the same.
flip XLM on. Let's see if we have to eat crow on the show today.
I don't think I gotta.
I don't think so.
I think I'm gonna be just fine.
Yeah, basically.
A nice wick to the downside, and I also did say to him, this is a shorting opportunity in the sense that you need to make sure your take profits are on the books, because you could end up getting some kind of wick city like this and then get a buy through, and then all of a sudden you're back up here. So, like I said, it's all about timing, and with the way that it looked back here, this is a shorting opportunity, and it beautifully marked that. And as of now, you would have made profit, and with the way that it's getting bought back up, you just have to see. The daily closing back above here, I think, would actually be pretty bullish for Stellar Lumens. But as of now, nothing to do with it.
And we don't do this to gloat or anything or to show off. Like, it's not to pretend like we're 100% right on every trade, on every market move by any chance. But
you shouldn't be trying to be right.
Indeed, but we have like a fundamental way of trading. We're more like systems trend following traders. We're not like reversals or that guy. I forgot what his style. He was talking about fibs and probably catching reversals.
About, inverse head and shoulders with fib levels. That's fine, man.
That's
but
fine.
I'm gonna be honest.
You do you. Yeah, you do you, bro. We do us. And in this case, we butted heads over XLM. And a week later, look, not to say that we're right, you're wrong, but in this case, he didn't really come back. And we're not trying to be rude to people or anything like that, guys. So we just, it does feel good to say, please, here's the chart.
And honestly, with trading, the funny thing about it is you could have two, like me and Alex and Justin have done this so many times, especially when we were trading lower time frames. We'd put out a signal that was directly inverse to each other, and then they both play out. It's just about getting the timing right? Like knowing when volatility expands and when to place those market orders. And it can work in both directions. And what I was telling him at that time is based off this market structure and that buyback, this is likely people trying to get out of their positions and take it to the downside, and that's exactly what you see. So all we can do is just kind of look at the evidence that we have and say this is kind of what we expect, right? And we do a pretty good job of doing that, right? I mean, I think you can tell by the data that we do a good job of that. And then we have days like this to where you wish your stop losses worked.
Yeah, and of course, having those objective take profit targets, right? So not only would you have, like you just explained, right, with all the wickiness, it's important to have those objective targets, lock them in, set that stop loss to break even, and capture these moves. Because like you said, sometimes both cases can play out
for a week, man. And when you finally get that move to the downside, you're like, yes. But if you don't have that take profit on, and then all of a sudden it gets all the way bought back up, like you just wasted a week or 2 weeks of your life staring at a chart when you were in profit, but you got greedy and didn't take any profit, and then all of a sudden you're losing money. Like it happens so often.
All right, let's go ahead and get to one of the last requests of the day. We are moving to wind the show down here. Mr. Ether says Dreams Quest is a play-to-earn game and free-to-play when it launches, and it looks super interesting indeed. Mr. Ether also said earlier, this is one of those coins I will say I told you so later, DYOR.
He's the guy I would listen to on that, because he's made a shitload of money off of coins that I've just passed by. So
they don't call him Mr. Ether for nothing. So Dreams, guys, check it out. Maybe could be a viable play-to-earn ticket. With that said,
super interesting. Like the NFTs that I'm involved with now, the only ones I'm involved with besides your project, Jack, is play-to-earn metaverse projects.
Indeed. Promising future for those. With that said, let's get into the next request. Big shout out to Mr. Ether. As always, guys, do your own research, but there's that. B-Flow, how about AVAX for the short? Oh, we're shorting AVAX, are we?
You can't quite short AVAX yet. You're getting there. Likely tomorrow will be your chance to get a full signal on this. As you can see, our oscillators just aren't there. It depends on whether you're using Minx or time transformation. Both of them just aren't there yet, so there's just not quite anything you can do. And that's good. I mean, that's a good thing, because if this does reverse, you're really going to hate taking this position here. And you got to listen to your systems. If it's just not there yet, it's not there yet. And if this goes sideways tomorrow, then you'll end up with a quality short signal, and you weren't having to wait for the trade to play out. So I think the best thing to do here is wait to see if this level holds, and then you'll have a clear direction on whether we close below or above. This weekend, I think, will be the thing that lets you know. But in my head, this absolutely could end up being a baseline pullback. But that level's very nicely mimicked there. So again, wait for the close. See if this ends up becoming support. Because if you short it here, this becomes support. I think AVAX goes into price discovery again, and you're going to get melted. Because this is a bullish chart. So a little too early to pull the trigger on a short for my system. But you are finally beginning to break below the 13, which is something you haven't done in a couple months here. So.
Alrighty, well, that would be AVAX for the short request for our boy B-Flow. Have a great weekend, my dear B-Flow. Last request. Oh, isn't this the guy I banned? Itzy? Let's look at HBAR. Okay, let's we banned him, but we'll throw him at least the HBAR request.
Well, HBAR looks super weak. Interesting spot historically. If this becomes support, that would be very bullish. Just right now, you can't tell too far extended. The continuation short was over here, which played out beautifully. You would have hit at least TP1, TP2. Again, I think this is the time to kind of sit on your hands and see where the dust settles. See if we get some support, or see if we end up breaking down, because pulling the trigger now, I think, is not going to be the best decision for you, mentally or financially.
All right. Well, that sounds like you're wrapping up your thoughts on HBAR. Did I miss any requests, guys? Hopefully not. I got 3 minutes left of the show. Did I miss your request? Please do tell me now below. I don't think so. I think I got everybody's request. So that's it, guys. I think we're safe to go. We even have a few minutes to knock off early. Big shout out.
I gotta get a beer and watch some football.
Right on. What are you watching?
I've actually been watching it during this.
Oh, okay.
It's the Iowa-Nebraska game.
Oh,
I graduated. I graduated from the University of Iowa, so always got to be
college ball, is it? All right.
Alumni. Okay.
All right. Well, guys, that's it for today's episode. We're gonna wind the week down right here, right now. Much love to everybody, of course, who makes the show possible each and every week. You know who you are.
Jack making this work.
I play a small role in all this, what can one say? But, of course, we got the community that does make it possible. Probably wouldn't be here if we didn't have, the loyal viewers and the audience that we have, and the amazing community. Big shout-outs to, of course, all our analysts this week. Jason, Alex, and Justin, of course, holding it down. Shout-outs to, our mods and our entire staff over at CC. Mr. Ether, Dark Rico, Crypto Bull, you know who you are, Payday, you name it. I thank you guys so much. Of course, our very loyal audience, guys. Everybody from, these guys from Ron Legato, Mac W, Crypto Cats, many more. You guys know who you all are. Any word. Love you guys all. Hope you have a great weekend. You know, don't party too hard. Don't drink too much. We'll see what happens with these markets. We'll be back on Monday. We'll see if this Black Friday turns into the dip, or is this a horror show?
Deal of a lifetime, maybe. Who knows?
Maybe. With that said, guys, I don't think I have much more to say. Be sure to check out premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com for all our premium offerings. You know, we got that Black Friday deal. In fact, let's go get that on screen, shall we? Do I have the Black Friday deal? It is, in fact, here. One little reminder, if you missed the show yesterday, now is a good time to remind you that we did post a Black Friday sale. Check out the announcements channel, I think, in the Discord server to also have these details, but the coupon code for today is Black Friday 15. The first 15 people who claim this code will get 50% off their CC membership, and everyone after those first 15 gets 30% off. So decent discounts on a CC membership. You know, maybe
hang out with me.
Yeah, consolidate your gains, maybe, guys, and use it to buy out a year membership. You know, I certainly think it'll be worth it. And of course, our analysts, you know, we're always producing quality signals, education material, our indicator suite. Mentorship sessions, premium community, man, whole lot on offer over at premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com, and now you even got a Black Friday sale to take advantage of, guys. So I hope we do convert some of our regulars in here
and get a CC membership.
With that said, guys, now we're really going to go to the exits. Final words to Jason. Let's get out of here.
I mean, simply, guys, just trade safely. We're in a kind of a rock and a hard place here. We just got to see what kind of price action we get. It wouldn't surprise me if we keep getting stabs a little bit lower, but it also wouldn't surprise me if we start appreciating here. We are getting premium on price on lower time frames than even the daily, but that means that we could have a sideways weekend and end up price right back where we closed on Friday, which tends to happen a lot. So always keep that in mind. And one of the reasons why I avoid trading on the weekends anyways. Don't need the heartache.
Word. Peace out, guys. Much love to you all, and stay tuned to the Discord. See you on Monday. Peace.
Goodbye.